And there's a question that he taught me over a decade ago that is one of the best questions to ask yourself, to ask your leaders, to ask teams of people at your organization when they are feeling stuck, because this question is a possibility activator. It's a possibility activator that helps us to see opportunities we would not have otherwise seen. And this is the question. If it were just right, what would it look like? It could be anything. If our onboarding process were just right, what would it look like? You open it up and you allow people to contribute. If our employees were really engaged at work, what would that look like? If our leaders were leading from a place of character and care and commitment, what would that look like? If our organization were recognized as a best place to work, well, what would that look like? What would be different than what it is now? What would be the same? This question helps us to unlock a sense of possibility and opportunity. Sometimes opportunity shows up in the form of taking a little bit of a risk and maybe bending the rules a little bit, which I know in HR, you are often seen as the rule upholders. And so it can be really hard to think about, I don't want to bend the rules. I want to follow the rules. I want to do what's right. I want to be a good kid, because we get acknowledged for that from the time we're very young. That's why I want to tell you about Jessica. Jessica is a recruiter. I met Jessica when I spoke at the National SHRM Conference in 2023. She was sitting in the room just like you are here, and she was feeling stuck. Because as she was listening to me talk, she was realizing that she had the qualifications for the next band up. She worked at a company that had banded positions. You had to wait until March every year to get a promotion or a salary bump. That's just what the rules were. And she's sitting in the room in June. And she's having this realization, this aha moment. I'm already doing the job at the next level. Oh my gosh, I have to wait until next March to get that pay bump? So she has that thought. And then she also has the thought of, but that's the rule. The rule says I have to wait till March. Then she heard what I'm about to share with you. And she used this prompt, and she went to her boss, and she positioned herself and her contributions in a very strategic way. And in less than 6 weeks, she did get bumped up to that next level, 7 months early. And she said, Rachel, before I sent that email, I ran it by a coworker because I was like, am I being too harsh? I'm never this direct. But then after she did it, she said, that gave me such confidence to advocate for myself, to speak up, and to then get what I wanted and what I knew that I deserved. Do you want to know the prompt that I shared with her? You don't want to make more money? That's fine. We can just move on. Can we have a Jerry Maguire moment? Who knows what I'm about to do here? Jerry Maguire? Who's seen that movie? Oh, yeah. Oh, you are so ahead of me? Okay, I love it. I'm here for it. In order for me to show you what I'm about to show you, my caveat here. My dad taught me this prompt. He used to teach negotiating. I started using this prompt in my mid-20s. When I worked in corporate, I worked for a benefits consulting firm. I used this prompt, and I guarantee you that by the time I left that job, I was making 25 to 30% more money than I would have been making if I didn't know how to do this. Not only did Jessica use this prompt, but another woman who was at the Arizona SHRM conference I keynoted last year used it. She got 2 raises in 1 year. And most recently, I talked to her 2 months ago. She said, Rachel, I got a title change, which I've been waiting for 3 years, and a $30,000 pay increase. So, on the count of 3, I'm going to need you to say, show me the money if you want me to show you the money. This is the prompt. I would like to discuss how we can adjust my compensation to better reflect my increased value and contributions. Notice what I didn't say here. I've been working here for 5 years, and I think I deserve a raise. Don't do that ever, We're asking for a compensation adjustment, which means you're probably already doing more than you're getting paid for, and you just want the pay to reflect that. And you're asking for it because you've demonstrated increased value and contributions to the company. So you use this, and then you say, I would like to be at X number by Y date. Be very specific. I would like to be at X number by Y date, and then here is the kicker phrase at the end. Is that possible here? Is that possible here? And then you stop talking. That's the hardest part. is you stop talking. Is that possible here? Guess what? Their response is very helpful either way. If they look at you have 5 heads, and they say, that's never going to happen here, you have a decision to make. You're like, all right, are there other ways we can negotiate value that's non-monetary? Or do I want to stay here and recognize that we have a difference in perception of my value? Or is it time to look at another role within this organization or somewhere else? But we're talking about betting on ourselves today. And so I want to equip you as HR leaders with a tool that you can use to better bet on yourself.